Hi there, in this video we're going to take a look at the online dictionary called Ġabra. It's one of my favorite online dictionaries and you can find a link to this dictionary in the description below, so you can start looking for words in Maltese as well as in English with this dictionary. So you can, it's both a Maltese and an English dictionary. So what does Ġabra actually mean? Well, we're on the website of a dictionary, so let's type in Ġabra and see what Ġabra actually means. Whoop, there you go. So when you type in a word, then you get several results, and there's Ġabra, there's Ġbir, and there's Ġabra data. Then you have here the root consonants with which the words are made up. You know whether it's a noun or a verb, and then you have the translation in English as well. So collection, set, collection, compilation, and here database. And then here you have this SGF. That means that it's in the female, in the singular, it's Ġabra, and in the plural, it's Ġabrit. All right. What if we would have typed collection instead of Ġabra? Let's find out. Well, there are different ways to say collection, or there are different translations here to create a collection, and that's dam. And there you have a verb, and here you have the root consonants, and here's some of the conjugations. Obviously, you can click through, and by clicking on this one here. But we were looking at Ġabra, and if you scroll down a little, then you see here Ġabra, and we're going to click on it. There you go. And what do you get when you click through? Well, you get the phonetic, so for the pronunciation, Ġabra. Part of speech, well, it's a noun, a collection, and then the English translations set, and then again these root consonants. There are some related words here, Ġabari, Ġbir, Ġbira, Ġabar, and that's adjectives, nouns, and verbs here you can also see. These are related to Ġabra, these are related to collection or set. If we would go to here, Ġabar, then, well, it's to collect. It's the verb to collect. But we're going to go back to our Ġabra. Now, if you click on these rules, you will also find all the adjectives, nouns, and verbs. Let's click that are using these three root consonants. So if you maybe you know this, most Maltese words have three root consonants, and then they add some things and vowels, etc., to make the different adjectives, nouns, and verbs. So Ġbira, Ġabar, Ġbir, and they are mostly related to the same topic here, collection. All right, let's get back to the Ġabra. The surface form, that's the form you see people use, that's Ġabra, and Ġabrit for the plural. Here you see singular and plural, and if you want to know the gender of a word, it's really good because it is written here female. What is really great is that some, not all words have examples, and here there's a sample phrase. Dan ma sarx minn ġabra waħda, iżda wkoll minn ġabrit spontani. You may think, oh, okay, well, good. What if I made a mistake? What if I wrote Ġabra without the little dots? Well, let's try it out. Ġabra. Whoop. And then again, you arrive at Ġabra, the right Ġabra, because obviously there is no Gabra in Maltese. There is no word that exists like that. This is actually a tip for dictionaries, written dictionaries. So when you, if you look at the G and you would look for Ġabra, you wouldn't find it there. You would need to go to the J. Same so for the Ein here, this one. This is one letter, so you would need to look at the Ein. Good. Well, so this is how it works. You get some extra examples, you get some related words, translations, roots. Okay. It's a little more than a paper dictionary. Okay, but the really great thing about this is when we're talking about verbs. And I'm going to write here a verb, Kitab. Oops, not kite. Kitab. There you go. The great thing about Ġabra is with the verbs. Why? We'll see it in a bit. But if you type in Kitab, which is the third person in the past tense, it's somehow used like an infinitive, but it does not have the function of an infinitive. If you're looking in a paper dictionary, you would need to go there. You would need to write Kitab, the third person in the past tense. So we're going to click on Kitab. Same as for Ġabra, you get the phonetics. You see, it's a verb. What is it? What are the translation? To write, to enroll somebody, to name somebody. The root, the source. Well, that's not so important. It's a dictionary where it comes from, and then the related words. But what is really great, I'm going to scroll down a little if I can. Well, I can't, but okay. You almost have all the. Let me move the screen maybe a little. Yeah, there you almost go. You can see here, these are all the conjugations of Kitab. And here, it's really handy. You have all the conjugations of Kitab. So Ktibt, that would be here the phonetics, so how to pronounce it. Perfect. So that's the past tense. Person 1 in the singular, that means I. That's Ktibt, I wrote. And then person 2 in singular, you wrote, Kitab, he wrote, Kitbet, she wrote, Ktibna, we wrote, Ktibtu, you wrote in the plural, Kitbu, they wrote. Niktab would be then in the present tense, I write, Tiktab, you write, he writes, she writes, we write, etc., etc. And here the imperative, so write, to give a command, that's Iktab, and the one that you can almost not see, Iktbu, write to several persons. Alright, so very handy. You have the conjugations in front of you. And what is even more handy is that you can put it in the negative, which, as you may know, changes the verbs a bit. Ktibch, that would be I did not write, but here you just add the sh, so it's rather easy here. If you put back in a positive, Ktibt, you just add the sh, but with Ktibna, negative, Ktibnish, so it changes a little bit. And this is one of the great things. You can put it in the negative. Also, you could use direct objects and indirect objects. For example, here, if I would say I wrote a letter, you could say I wrote it, and then a letter is female, litra. So we're going to use the third person singular female, her, like I wrote her, I wrote the letter. And then here you will see that it adds the direct object to the verb. So ktibta, I wrote it, so I wrote the letter, and then you have the whole word here just one way. Same so for I saw her, or I read it, or something like that. You can add the direct object here. The indirect object, that's to her or for me. For example, if we're going to add the first person of the singular, that's me. Here you wrote me, ktibt li, and then you can also simply add it there. Now, I have to say, not all of these ones, especially with verbs that are less common, they're not always completely correct. Sometimes there are some mistakes that get into the Ġabra, unfortunately. But it's a good start. And this is what they will not give you in dictionaries. For example, iktabli, well, if you look in the dictionary for iktabli, you simply won't find anything. But if, say, let's put back the window here, if you see it, iktabli, and you write it here. Ik heb li. There you go, Kitab. So you will find it back, and then you can click through it. And this is one of the greatest things about Ġabra. You can find all the conjugations of verbs in this Ġabra. It also finds variations of verbs that are a little more difficult. For example, ikolli, I have to. There are two ways to write it. So either with an I or with a J or G. So ikolli, you will find kellu. So I have to, kellu. And with a J or G, I always forget that one in English. So ikolli, well, you see it back, kellu, or maybe ukol. Also, you have ukol, but you also have ukol written with a W. You will find it here, ukol. Good. So it's really great. You can look for English verbs, or if you would type here in here also. Oops, not ilo, also. Then you would find it's somewhere here, ukol. So you will find also. Really great. Has a lot of words, as you may have seen on the opening page here. 20,000 entries and 4 million word forms. So obviously there are going to be some mistakes. Also, if you come in here first, you have to open up the keyboard to type the special letters in Maltese. There's also a Maltese version here, Bil Malti. If you're in a really good mood, then you can try to look for words in Maltese. You can also use the advanced search, for example, based on adjectives. If you're only looking for adjectives, if you want to look on a specific source, on a specific dictionary, you can also look there. Root search, you can also do, for example, Ġabra. Let's go for Ġabra. So that was for Ġabra. And yeah, let's search. There you go, Ġabar. You will find the verb, but not Ġabra. Well, apparently you do. Let's go back. Here. You just click on the root and then you will find all the ones that are made up of J, B, and R. So, a few bad things about it. We've already discussed that it's not a perfect resource. There are some mistakes. Sometimes the website goes offline for maintenance, and it can last a little. And one last point is that some Italian words, for example, ninduna, I notice, you won't find it back. I don't know why exactly. Do night. That means, again, to notice or to realize, something like that. You can't find it back. Some of the Italian ones are like that. Some of them you can find via Ġabra. So that was, well, one of the few bad things about Ġabra, but I can certainly recommend using it, and I hope you found it useful and you start using it from today. So, have fun with Ġabra. And as I said, the link to Ġabra is in the description below. And good luck with Ġabra. Bye bye.